Tempests with another best of 7, and that one is between the Eggplants and the Tempests in Masters. So we will step away for just a moment, and then we will be right back with more RSC action. Don't go anywhere.
You got me hypnotized. Just one look, I get lost in your eyes. You got me mesmerized. You're playing tricks and messing with my mind. You got me hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. Just one look, I get lost in your eyes.
Thank you for bearing with us for a moment as we got set up. Mostly I got set up for this second matchup of the night. We've got our Master Finals between the Tempests and the Eggplants going on now. Another best of 7 in the tier just below Premier. So hopefully a very minimal drop off in the gameplay, skill, speed, all the things. We're going to get into this one pretty quickly, but I would love to hear your thoughts on what these teams did during the regular season, what their road to here has been like.
Tonight we have the number 1, the Eggplants, versus the number 3 Tempesters. The things that I'm looking at closely are the goals for differential, with the Garden having 177 to the Tempesters 132, to the goals against, which is goes in the Tempest favor, which is almost like, are we going to have an offensive versus defensive battle?
Yeah, definitely a push here, and we look at these regular season stats, and they while they do definitely paint a picture of what a team is capable of, you also have to, playoffs are a kind of a different beast. So they've had to fight all their way here, and we don't have their numbers necessarily from what the path to the playoffs was, or what the stats of the playoffs games look like on these graphics, but definitely should be a good look here. I'm fending off DMs right now. Pardon me, I can't type and talk at the same time. While I do this, go ahead and take us through our lineups, please.
Oh, for the Eggplants, it looks like they have a 3-man rotation. 3 stars. Delfino, who has played all 60 games, has 53 goals, 45 assists, 186 shots. To have that type of production, to have almost as many assists as you goals as you has assists, that is amazing play right there. And then his number 2 is going to be Gavalanche with 59 games, who has 64 goals, 39 assists, 196 shots with a 32% shooting average. As we see already, it's just a lot of offensive production. Leading off with General Zippy with 52 games played, 55 goals, 37 assists, 130 shots. So maybe not as many shots, but he has a better shooting percentage than the rest of his team. So a great offensive team. And then leading off with the Tempests, we're going to have Nehtaro with 58 games played, 47 goals, 37 assists, 150 shots with a 31% shooting average. Jackson the Boss, 52 games, 41 goals, 35 assists, 149 shots. Both of these teams have players who not only produced on the assist side, also scored goals. So that's great to see that both teams play together very well as a team. And as the third person, we have Neoblastz for Tempest with 33 goals, 20 assists, 137 shots with a 24% shooting average. That was actually something I wanted to point out, HUD, was the shooting percent. You have the Garden with a 33% shooting percent and the Tempests with a 26% shooting percent. Do you think that will come into play any?
I definitely think that there's a chance. I mean, the opportunities, like converting on the opportunities, is such a huge thing. I mean, we saw it in that last series. The teams that converted on the opportunities that they had, uh, they're just going to be more successful. Being able to convert on those before your opponents can get in and make those last second saves to keep themselves alive. I mean, it's just going to be better for your team. So we'll see what they've got. We've got everybody here. We're going to get them in the lobby on the pitch, and they are going to join. We're going to have another best of 7 here to determine, I believe this is number 5 of our champions so far for Season 18 in RSC, and it should be another barn burner. If the Premier Series was any indication, we're underway. Another 5 minutes on the clock. Delfino and Nehtaro. 2 of the players at Tempests is Nehtaro, Jackson the Boss, and Neoblastz. Eggplants, General Zippy, Delfino, and Gavalanche, the 6 players on the pitch here for Game 1. Eggplants are going to try to find some offense here out over the middle with General Zippy, but just enough of a touch there to touch it outside for the defense of Tempest. Nehtaro carries it through midfield. Avalanche will be up just to slow things down. General Zippy there before Neoblastz could get up for the challenge, and now maybe a little bit of room for General Zippy. Jackson the Boss has to throw that one skyward, and Eggplants are going to start to try to generate their attack here, really set up some groundwork, and instead Nehtaro just will throw it right back down the other way. All that work for nothing.
You're seeing this is the game one, and both of these teams are really filling each other out. You aren't seeing too great of shots on goal yet, but you are seeing some opportunities, and I thought that might have potentially turned into one. So both teams is getting a feel for each other, seeing what's trying to test the other one's strength and see what they're capable of.
3 minutes 45 seconds here in game one. Both teams have yet to register a shot on goal. Maybe the first here from Neoblastz. It'll be a save by General Zippy. This one out over the middle. Nobody there for Tempests. Jackson the Boss had fallen all the way back. He's there to absorb that shot from Dolfino. Wins the 50 high, 50 boost in the tank. Throws it towards the backboard. Will there be any follow? It's just Avalanche playing it out towards midfield where Neoblastz lie in wait. Now open ball to the backboard. Something you don't see very much is an undefended backboard in the Master. And Tempest will get away with one there. Eggplants retreating back into their own end, trying to scoop this one out. Instead, Nehtaro drags it right back over top, and he just can't connect with Neoblastz. Maybe the first goal of the game left on the pitch there. And this one will be back to Tempest. Jackson the Boss up, trying to play a stretch downfield. Avalanche defends the backboard well and will kill the danger. 2 minutes of 50 seconds gone, and still just the one shot on goal for Tempest.
Yeah, it's been like a minute since people heard my voice, and pretty much nothing has changed within that minute. It's been pretty much just both teams trying to find some type of opening that the other team will give them, and right now it has just been none. And I would like to see more touches on the ball, more consecutive touches, see if we can get some more passing going on. Because when you have two teams that are playing great defense like this, passing is going to be the way, HUD, that you can break through their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think another thing I've noticed is Tempest definitely exhibiting a little bit of a tendency to opt to turn back out of the offense rather than overcommit and turn up to try to force something on frame. So, it is definitely a double-edged sword. You're more likely to be in a better defensive position, but you're not going to generate the goal scoring that you need to take the lead. So you're just living on this high wire of having to play perfect defense because you're not generating as much offense. Nehtaro trying to generate some offense, and instead Avalanche will get a save on the weak shot from down top. But even here's Nehtaro waiting back for it. Jackson the Boss will opt to go for the wing play, and somehow that's going to go in. That goal from my Diamond 2 lobbies is going to find the back of the net, and that's 1-0 in Master.
Well, as you said, Tempest is opting to go back. Now, that did explain why they did not allow so many goals, but if the other team, their opposition, can get the game going to the point where we get like a scoring game going on where they're putting up 3 goals a game, can they keep up with that? Because as of right now, they are turning back a lot, and they just scored right there and made me eat my words. Good job for them.
What a break here for Gav. Jackson just tips it up, and Avalanche is just kind of there. His momentum is still carrying him there. He's not hit the boost yet. The ball's just kind of landing on his hood, and just like that, the tie has been broken. We're 1-1. Both teams have showed that they do, in fact, know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and we have a series on our hands. Tempests trying to strike right back. Jackson the Boss is going to have one just go wide, and that's a huge save from General Zippy to keep it tied at 1. A long clearance all the way down in the blue end will slow things up for a moment. Jackson the Boss gets the demo on Dolfino on the backside. There's a little bit of an opening, but Dolfino coming back from the respawn on the demo is there for the save. Trying to generate some offense the other way. Avalanche continues the effort. Jackson the Boss high towards the ceiling, gets it around General Zippy, will clear the line for a moment. Dolfino right back in, down to Gav, and the shot blocked by Neoblastz. 30 seconds left here in game number 1. Tied 1-1, not where it looked like it was going to be just about 30 seconds ago, B. We're really strapping in for maybe an OT.
Yeah, once again, this will be a great way to start this series. Exactly the same way we started the other finals we just casted. So it's following the script. And you talked about going back to Tempest, going back. They may go back a lot, but they pick their shots very well. They are very surgical. They if I had to equate them to an NBA team, it kind of reminds me of the San Antonio Spurs, a real team that's defensive minded, but when they get on offense, they know what to do. And we're going into overtime right here. Off the pitch, General Zippy versus Neoblastz. Tempest will win that. We will see. Oh, and they score, and they pick their shots very well. They say we don't need to take a whole bunch of shots. We're going to take exactly how many shots we need to win the game, and they just did.
And Eggplants, I had 6
Oh,
seconds
Eggplant. Sorry. Eggplant.
I'm not trying to correct you at all. I'm out of, like, I don't have words for how that one ended. Just a real rough break for the Eggplants or for the Tempest on the kickoff. It's a great break for the Eggplants, and they just managed to not bean the open net on the kickoff, and that is all you need to score in overtime. Just one, and the cycle from Gav to lead the way, definitely a good start. That Discord ping noise that I just got is me being reminded to change the map. So I'm going to do that, and please give us a little bit of insight on these stats here, B.
The great stats by Eggplants. You see them playing well as a team, saving well as a team. Tempest took a lot of shots, and they were able to get a lot of save. I think I'm going to kind of tie this into the series that we just watched previously. It's really just the mistakes these teams are making, and it seems to be something. I don't know if something's in the water, but kickoffs seem to be crushing teams because we saw the previous game where 3 kickoff goals were scored, and that's how that overtime ended. So if both teams can limit the mistakes, that's what it's all about. Limit the mistakes and keep the pressure up. We'll see a great series from both of these teams.
Yeah, here in these higher tiers, it really is all about that mistake minimization and then capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes when they make them. It's tough to anticipate. You know, you're never going to be, especially here in a tier where you're expecting everybody to hit the ball pretty much every time they go for it. You're not anticipating the mistakes, so being in a position to punish them is almost always a circumstance of good rotations and just being a little bit more aggressive and on the front foot. So we will see if the Eggplants can maybe turn the wick up a little bit here as Avalanche just goes full heat-seeking missile on Neoblastz on the backboard, trying to open up a little bit of space to drop it down, but it'll stay 0-0. I mean, we went like, I think we went a minute and a half roughly last game B before anybody had even registered a shot. That first push down for Gav for Avalanche is definitely a good start for the Eggplants.
Yeah, both teams are playing very relentless, and both teams are playing like championship teams, playing very aggressive, playing like teams, seeing a lot of passing, and I'm expecting it to continue like this all throughout however long this series ends.
Another big demo from Tempests as they try to maybe start opening things up with the physical game. We didn't see a whole lot of it, at least intentionally, in game one. Maybe Eggplants will, or Tempest will dip into the bag of tricks here and try to ratchet that up a little bit here in game two as Gav goes up. He's going to play this one for control. Nehtaro breaks it up, but Delfino maybe a little bit of space. Got some boost to work with, but Neoblastz unfazed there for the stop. Gav out to challenge. Nehtaro will win the 50 favorably, but Jackson the Boss is first to it. General Zippy through midfield, long clearance, just some opportunity to pick up some pads, a large boost here or there. General Zippy leaves it for Gav. Gav down towards Nehtaro, loose in the box, but Jackson the Boss quickly, and now transition play looking for the bump, and he got there, but Gavalanche, the heroes sweeping in for the defense of the Eggplants. He'll keep it 0-0.
Tempest caught Eggplants in a very weird position and could not capitalize on it. And Eggplants trying to similarly put Tempest in a bad position, but they were able to stop it as well. And as we see the Eggplants trick over, try to get a pass off the backboard and almost a shot opportunity. It just took a bad hit on the ball. And we see Tempest driving the ball down the field. Oh, good shot. Just the fourth man taking over, and if at first you do not succeed, try trying again. Aaliyah taught us that. Good goal by Tempest to start this game off. Well, not to start this game off. We've been playing for almost 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but to get the very first goal in this game.
it's been broken open, and ball very much did not lie there. The first one from Tempest, the first effort there, I am shocked at how it didn't go in, but eventually it finds its way to the back of the net. A quick answer here maybe for Eggplants, but a big save from Nehtaro that's followed up impeccably by Jackson the Boss, because it was just hanging there at the edge of the box. Dolphino takes Nehtaro off the pitch for the dribble into orange territory. A double commit here from the Tempest may be dangerous for a counterattack from Eggplants, but it will be Dolphino pretty much on his lonesome, getting the 50 and the demo. Ball thrown towards the outside of the post, and it just will be wide. And the Tempests are going to be chomping at the bit maybe to get one in transition, but Gavalanche with a great save. And that was a tough one for Eggplants, but they are going to be right back after it. Really nothing phasing them. Gav takes Nehtaro off the pitch, and a low 50 here to the sidewall will pretty much slow things down for a moment. Eggplants, they've got 4 shots on goal to Tempest 3. It really just hasn't been, it's been that the one thing that they haven't been able to put it in the back of the net yet, B.
They have not, but Eggplants right now is they're putting a lot of pressure on them, which they're doing what you are supposed to be doing, putting pressure. They're trying to get shots, but Tempest just playing really great defense and getting themselves out of tough situations. But let's see if they can cap. Oh, that was almost a nice pass, a little bit too strong for Zippy to corral. He does corral it now, but Neoblastz take it over for him. Gavalanche tries to knock it towards the middle, and it is intercepted by Jackson the Boss. Let's see, off the backboard. No, Jackson the Boss will stay on it. And nice shot, nice pass. It was only a matter of time. They were chomping at the bit, as you said, and they finally knocked down that door. Good goal by Eggplant.
Yeah, it's just rough from Jackson on the backboard, maybe trying to do a little bit too much all on his own from the backboard, and it falls straight to Dolphino, who lasers it home. Split 1-1 now, the scoreline, as Eggplants look to try to take a 2-0 lead in the series. We will remake the lobby after this one as well, so everybody will bear with us for a moment when we reset, but could be a 2-0 lead for the Eggplants in about 50 seconds, or a little bit longer if we go to overtime yet again, or we could be tied 1-1. Jackson the Boss again in an awkward position on the backboard. He just gives it away once more, and General Zippy got the shot on. Neoblastz with the save. Dolphino down to Gavalanche, 30 seconds on the clock, and it will be General Zippy first there. Shot towards Neoblastz, save down low. Dolphino dunked by Neo, and an opportunity now for Tempest maybe to get out in transition. The Gavalanche touching this one high. Demos Jackson the Boss through midfield, and it's swung back out towards the orange end. 10 seconds left now. Tempest off the backboard. Nobody there but Dolphino, who gives it right to Jack. Jackson threatening, trying to take it off Gavalanche, but won't quite get there. Nehtaro up with 0 seconds left, and the ball heading towards the floor, kept alive by Neoblastz. It'll be centered, but down. OT, game 2.
It's 2 overtimes already in the series, the very first 2 games. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to go to sleep anytime soon. These teams are going to take us to a very long series. And as you said, this is something I want to, as we go into this overtime and attempt this, Eggplants put a good shot on the corner. Jackson the Boss does need to address the doing too much on the back wall. He was trying to touch the ball entirely too much, put him in a very weird spot. That's something that needs to be watched out for as he corrals it right now, and he sends it to the middle of the field. Let's see if Nehtaro can get a shot on it. Neoblastz, I'm sorry, can get a shot on it. The best he could do was a challenge. Dolphino is going to sneak it past Neoblastz, who's, and that is a wide open goal. That was a broken rotation somehow. Did you see a demo or maybe a bump or something, or was it just a broken rotation?
It's Nehtaro thinking about maybe jumping on that pass, and instead of turning right to go back defensively, he turns left, and that just opens it wide up for General Zippy, who makes no doubt about putting that one straight down the middle, and it is another win for the Eggplants, and they've got a 2-0 lead in the series. We are going to back out of this lobby and get a new one made. But so while we get this up, I mean, we just saw it there, just kind of almost a fluke goal at the very end. But outside of Jackson the Boss tightening up maybe a little bit on the backboard, what else are you needing to see from Tempest here? Because they've definitely they're down with their backs against the wall now.
It's been a evenly matched series though. You can't really say do anything better. Both games have been going to overtime. I think the thing that we were tested to came into play again, just limiting the mistakes. That's the only thing you have to do. No change in gameplay. Do not panic. Just limit the mistakes. Limit the bad touches and the bad rotations. And you have a team that is battling with another team. Just keep it going. Just limit the mistakes.
Yeah, we're going to get these players back in here. Lobby is back up for them. Just send the DM to the guys that need to see it real fast, so that way I can keep talking about the things that I need to talk about. There we go. So, I mean, this we're almost in the same position that we were in Game 5 in the Premier finals, right? We're sitting at a game that feels like it is a must-win. Like this is
Yeah.
a critical point in the series for the Tempests. They've got to find a way to win this game 3 because again, if they don't, they're looking at reverse sweep, which to my knowledge has not been done in RSC before. It just is. It is not easy to do. You don't want to put yourself in the position of having to win 4 games in a row. It's just that the odds are stacked against you there. So Tempests have got to find a way to win this game 3, and hopefully, I mean, for the longevity of this series, they find a way to pull it out.
Yeah, and then to think that you're going to reverse sweep such an Eggplants team that's playing really tough. These are very tough games. Both teams are very close matched up, but to reverse sweep them would be an insane thing to do. That would be a classic thing to do, but it would be very tough. Like I said, just focus on eliminating the mistakes and capitalize. And Tempest needs to capitalize on the mistakes that the Eggplants are also making.
Yeah, midway pretty much through our best of 7 here, just waiting on the teams to rejoin the lobby. There was a DC from the Tempest, I believe, but it looks like they will be, coming back in just about now. Here's a bunch of them. We're just waiting on a few more. I am definitely interested to see if the Eggplants can maybe step their game up a little bit. It is not that they've been playing poorly, but I do feel like there is a more gap to be put between these two teams. The fact that we've had 2 consecutive overtimes definitely, I'm sure Eggplants would also appreciate maybe not being on the edge of their seats the entire times. But if they can just continue to find a way to punish those Tempest mistakes, if they're going to keep happening, Eggplants just have to keep finding a way to punish them, and they'll just get it done that way. I believe we are just waiting on one more player. Everybody's here, and we're going to get right into it. I'll tell them that they're all good, and we will hop right into game number 3. The player to watch here in game 3B?
I'm liking Gavalanche, man. He's had some great games. He had a great game one. Can't remember all his stats. Is he the player that had 5 saves? If I'm not mistaken.
So, yes.
Yeah. He's played great. Well, been playing very well and setting his team up very well. Very smart player. Who's your player that you want to look out for?
I mean, I think we've got to see a change in the gameplay from Jackson the Boss here. Definitely an error that led to a goal in the last game. Not saying that it is one error that leads to a win or a loss, but just got to tighten things up. Trying to be the quarterback out there on the pitch just needs to make sure that it doesn't let getting out of the defensive zone come at the expense of that quarterbacking. And if they can find a way to get this offense churning, we know that they've got the ability to score goals in bunches, but here, just about 45 seconds into game number 3, both teams with a shot on goal. No goals yet, and the pings look much better. Glad that we got the lobby reset for them because everybody's numbers are green instead of yellow. As Dolfino throws one into the corner here, and Gavalanche can't quite read the touch from Jackson. Wow, what a weird pinch. Almost into the far corner. Nehtaro just has to stretch out to make that save, and now Tempest maybe a quick break the other way, but well defended by Dolfino.
This Rocket League is a game of pressure, and the pressure that Eggplants has been putting on Tempest has been so relentless, and it shows you why this series is 2-0 in their favor right now, as they've had Tempest in the corner. It seemed like they just won't get out that corner until they score, and no, that's not right there. I thought it was going to be a shot opportunity. Yeah, they're just playing so much more aggressive than Tempest. What are you seeing out there, Hud?
I 100% agree. I think Eggplant's dictating the tempo of this match so far, and it has been Dolphino so far here in game 2, leading, or game 3, pardon me, leading the charge for Eggplants. The 2 saves definitely helping there. A big demo from Nehtaro, and almost getting the second one as Neo threw one on frame. Netaro's still pressuring here. I think that if Tempests want to start working those demos in, it is not a bad time to do it. The rotations for Eggplants have been so good, and a great way to ruin good rotations is just by taking people off the pitch. Just by deleting people and taking them out of their rotations, it is really can go a long way in just gumming up the works and making a little bit more space for yourself if you're going up against a team that is just so solid and where they need to be, like Eggplants have been. Dolphino will crank one towards Gav, who's just going to bend it around, and will go errantly past Jackson the Boss. Will secure some mid boost, and once again, Tempests are going to have to fend off another push.
See, the thing about this game is both games have went to overtime. We've had 2 overtimes, so it isn't like Tempest isn't playing good. It's just like Eggplants are playing so great. It's almost like, where do you see a hole in their team that Tempest can take advantage of? Let's see if they can get a shot on right now. And Neoblastz with a great opportunity, but the 4th man coming into play right now, and they knock it away. But let's see if Gavalanche can beat him to this challenge, and he does, and throws it to the middle of the field, which is then taken off by Neoblastz. And we're seeing a little bit more aggression by Tempest, but no, as we see them put them right back in the corner, Hud.
Man, some great passes that have just been barely skirted away by the Eggplants defense. Tempests really starting to knock on the door here. Rather, it was the Tempest defense. Eggplants knocking on the door. It was a good transition there for the Tempest, though. And that's a suicide pass from Jackson the Boss. Jeez, what a rough one to leave right over the middle of the net. And fortunately, Tempest get away with another, just almost a howler there.
Jackson the Boss kind of reminds me of Brett Favre in the way he used to throw interceptions. Because it's like when he does things on the offensive side, as he just did right there with almost a great pass, it's wonderful. But then sometimes on the defensive side, it's like, why are you doing this? Don't make that move right there. And they have a great shot on goal by Eggplants, but the 4th man coming into play, working for Tempest as Gavalanche throws it to the middle of the field. Dolphino trying to go off the backboard, but Neoblastz takes it. Neoblastz, Jackson the Boss sends it to the other side of the field. Dolphino with the 50, and just kind of just went in the middle. Neoblastz is going to try to take it and throw it over. Nobody is home. Is that something that you need to see more of? As Tempest not been following shots well?
I think they definitely have if anything, I think Tempest just need to find they need to commit to one thing or the other, because I totally agree. Like here, they're just kind of leaving themselves out to dry, and it's going to end up biting them once again. The Eggplants are going to score with 3 seconds left as Neo chooses to go back instead of forward. A pass is left out, and Eggplants strike once again. We're looking at a reverse sweep now, needing for Tempest to get back into this one, but Eggplants, man, just hanging around right where they need to be to capitalize. You've been saying it all series, B. It is all about making those mistakes, covering them off, and jumping on them when the opportunity's presented.
Because both teams are so equally matched. Like, as you saw right there, it only took one. You didn't really see too many mistakes being made by either team until the very end, which was the most important one. And we see Dolphino having a great game with 3 saves, which is important. And 3 saves is very important in a game when the score is 1-0.
Yeah, definitely good to keep the other team off the scoreboard. It is, score more goals than your opponent is the ultimate objective here. But now we're looking at kind of a weird spot for Tempests here. Not only are they with their backs against the wall, no real wiggle here. You've got to win to keep your season alive and not get swept in the finals, by the way. What a way to end your season. You also haven't scored in probably like 8 minutes plus of gameplay. So you've got to find a way to get the lid off the pot here. And if you don't figure it out this game, you're cooked. You're done. Your season's done. You were second best. And Eggplants just picked you apart the entire series by, taking your mistakes and magnifying them 100 times by scoring with 3 seconds left when you leave a pass out. Like, it has been that close, that thin of a margin between these two teams. 5 more minutes, what could be the last 5 minutes of these players' RSC 18 seasons, and all on Tempest to keep the series alive and keep the sponsors happy, as you said earlier, B, with a little bit more Rocket League. But man, the Eggplants already standing on their heads. They're not going to let this series go any longer than it needs to.
Yeah, and as we see Neoblastz trying to corral it in the corner, we see a 50 in the middle of the field, and Nehtaro is going to take it in the middle. I love I believe Nehtaro is a great player who isn't taking the ball enough. He can dribble just as well as Jackson the Boss, and as we saw, a mistake, which was a whiff, but they Eggplant was not able to capitalize on it, but they keep control of it, Avalanche. And we already see the mistakes almost coming into play already for Tempter.
Yeah, that is a really lucky break for the Tempest that Gav just didn't quite have enough boost. He saw that there was a man back. I believe it was Neoblastz that was back there. Had to put it in the perfect spot and just didn't have the boost to be able to wrap around to put it right in that corner. Here's a great pass to Neo, and that's what the Tempests need. They finally get on the board after not scoring at all in Game 3. They've got a lead here, a minute 10 into Game 4.
Sometimes all you need to see as a player, especially on a team that hasn't scored in 8 minutes, is just the ball go in the net. Maybe that can be the thing that sparks the scoring side of Tempest, because we know that they can play defense because these games have been close. But let's see if they can put up some more points as General Zippy of Eggplants tries to take control of the ball and actually puts them in a good spot. Oh, the whiff, but in the open net again, and Tempest back to their old ways.
Yeah, it's just the first whiff in the corner from Nehtaro is just a good beat, and then the whifty at the edge of the box means it's going to be wide open for Delfino. They do not miss the gaping net that time, and we have got ourselves level at 1, 3-3-3 on the clock at kickoff. Gav's going to look to make it 2-1 on the kickoff there. Can't quite put it underneath the crossbar on the double. It's a big 50 from Neo. All 3 players for the Eggplants very far committed up, and the shot from Nehtaro will just be pushed aside by Delfino. Jackson the Boss to the backboard, a little bit of room. Gav to the sidewalls. Delfino and Neoblastz whiffing on that one. Nehtaro will have the push, and Gav will keep that pretty non-threatening. Another whiff there from Jackson. Ends up falling to Neo. And General Zippy dunked by Nehtaro. Back to Delfino, and a long shot saved by Jackson the Boss. For a 1-1 scoreline, it really does feel like Eggplants still have the upper hand in this one, B.
Oh, it does seem very much like they're in control and just getting great opportunity. Tempest, like I said, playing very great defense, but Eggplants are putting them in some very tough positions, and Avalanche is able to knock that away, get themselves out of that tough position. And Jackson the Boss with the 50 somewhat wins it. General Zippy tries to knocks it towards the middle of the field. Nobody is able to take over. How do you see the last 2 minutes of this game playing out, HUD?
I want to see Tempest find another goal here. I would like to see them make this interesting, not let it go just 4 games. I think realistically, though, Eggplants are going to keep doing what they're doing, and they're just going to wait for Tempest to slip up. We've seen it happen time and time again. I wish that it wasn't the case. Like, just that ball sitting right there is not something that you're expecting as an attacker. You're not expecting for the other team to let the ball bounce in their own box when they should be anticipating that you've got somebody right in front of you. So it's just a long goal that will bounce wide. Nehtaro glances one off the post, and Jackson the Boss has one saved away by Gavalanche. Eggplants need to make sure they don't get too antsy here on the defensive end. They know they've got a little bit of room, but don't want to give too much opportunity for Tempest to maybe pick up a couple goals on your errors, as Nehtaro has one saved away by General Zippy. A little bit of room for Jackson, saved by Gavalanche. 3 saves for Gav, 2 saves for Zippy. That is keeping this 1-1, a minute 15 left, and Tempests have absolutely turned it on here, B.
Tempest put a lot of pressure on the other side of the field. But you said it at the beginning of the game. I would love to see them be more aggressive in demo. I feel like they could have scored on that side. They would have just went for a demo and they scored right there. There it goes. There goes our hopefully our series saving shot. Hopefully we get 2 more games out of this series, because this has been a great series. Even though they're down 3-0, this has been a very wonderful series. So let's see if they can keep that momentum going and get their first win.
Yeah, literally nothing but 1-goal games so far. It's just been, it has been the thinnest of margins, and the Eggplants on top. As that one's gonna fall in, the finger roll from Gavalanche is good enough to beat the defenders on the kickoff, and it's 2-2 once again. We're back tied.
Kickoff goals and mistakes. And now they just combined the two. We've had a bunch of them separately, but now we just have a bunch. Now we just had them combined in that play. Kickoff goal off of a mistake, and Tempest going. What is going on with the kickoff?
Oh man, it's been a trend tonight for sure.
Is there a training pack that we can get these players for kickoffs?
I almost feel like it's I feel like they're going too fast sometimes. I do this in my kickoffs. My kickoffs are garbage because I'm always trying to push a little bit too quick, and my quick kickoffs are not fast enough, so I get dusted. I would be interested to see maybe if a kickoff like strategy change could help both of these teams, but it's been going both ways. Both teams have benefited from just wide open kickoff goals. So if that is the way that they're going to play and they're just going to go all out, no holds barred, and both teams are doing it, then I guess you just hope that the coin flip goes your way, as Gavalanche trying to play a little bit of a fake there, didn't quite get to it. Neoblastz the backflip. It is a 1-goal lead right now for Tempest. They need this dub to keep the series alive. 10 seconds left. Neoblastz down into the orange end. Delfino can't get it around Jackson the Boss. It'll fall into the back off Nehtaro, up to the ceiling. 0 seconds on the board. General Zippy will keep it alive. 2-on-2 the other way. Jackson the Boss will jump up into the gap, and it will fall down there. Tempests win their first of the series. The reverse sweep look is alive.
It's going to be a tough one. They have to do it. There is no option. You are down 3-1. You have to do it. That's a great way to start off. Tempest played very well as a team. Very well as a team. We see Nehtaro with 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 save. Neoblastz with 2 goals, 1 assist. But then Jackson the Boss also contributing. So that's what you're going to need to start a comeback. Is you're going to need everybody on the team contributing. And I forgot something that we talked about in the pre-show was the shooting percentage differential, where I think Tempest was 7 under Eggplants, and we are seeing that come into play. We talked about that could be a thing, and we are seeing that come into play, because Tempest has been taking a lot of shots, but they've also been missing a lot of shots. But let's see if they can, start hitting more of those shots and make this and keep this series alive.
Absolutely. The shooting numbers are there for Tempest, and the conversion just wasn't quite there through through the series to this point, but they finally got the numbers up that the lower percentage wasn't biting them in the tail that time. The series lives on. We've got Game 5, Wasteland Night, still match point now, double match point, double championship point for the Eggplants, and it's gotta be more of that same, just playing a little bit more reined in, I think, from Tempest, but they've got to find a way to balance that, and mostly thinking about Jackson, the double coming across the middle there is terrifying to start things out, but they managed to get out of it. It's just, they've got to find a way to, be aggressive and not make mistakes. They've just got to find a way to straddle that line.
Yeah. Pretty much that's the strategy for both of these teams. Both of these teams are very equally matched, with a little bit of separation between the two, but not much, as General Zippy takes the ball down the court, and he almost got a better flip on that. Mike could have scored on that one. I set up a beautiful pass. Delfino's going to take it in the corner, trying to set up his own pass. It is going to be picked off by Jackson the Boss. And now we see Eggplant putting Tempest in this corner, as they have done many times, but Neoblastz is able to get that out. HUD, that is something that Tempest is going to have to be careful about, is allowing Eggplants to put them in a corner like that.
They have done a really good job of just finding those the awkward touches in the corner. They put it there, they force it around, and they know eventually something's going to come out over the middle. Somebody's going to be out of rotation, and they'll be able to bump them out and find a goal. Here's a good drive from Neoblastz just offline. Over the middle, though, General Zippy will have the first touch, beats Jackson to it. He retreats, has 65 boost, but can't get the touch from the sidewall. Nehtaro there, can't quite get on top of it. Neoblastz throws one high, and that will be off the ceiling. Jackson the Boss, long clearance, and will be Dolfino first to it. Hard touch off the ceiling there, not where they wanted that one to go. Good follow-up from Zippy, but it's only as far as Neoblastz, right back to it, and now it is Eggplants struggling to find any consistent possession, any consistent momentum here in game number 5. As a couple more shots will go goalward, and finally one goes off the crossbar and in for Neoblastz. Tempests back here in game 5.
Tempest has to get those shots to fall. They're getting the opportunities. They are getting the looks. They just have to get those opportunities to fall. And hooray for them for getting that one. And now we are starting this off with General Zippy and Neoblastz. Eggplant is going to take control of it. Let's see if Gavalanche can start a play. He cannot. Oh, he gets it to the middle of the field. Let's see if they can create an opportunity. And as we see, HUD, they are in that corner once again. Oh, Jackson the Boss got him out of it, HUD.
Much better clearance there from Jackson just to keep that from languishing in the corner for any longer. And now here, looking to make some offense was Neo, just couldn't quite pull it on frame. Maybe took a shot attempt away from a teammate, but still trying to build on that one as we cross halftime here in game number 5. It has been a flip of the script for Tempests. They go down 3-0 in the series to start out. They win game 4, and now they're trying to continue climbing the reverse sweep mountain. It's a great doink from General Zippy to keep this offensive push alive for Eggplants. Nehtaro, the flick, won't get it around anybody, but a little bit of miscommunication there for Eggplants maybe. Dolfino to the backboard, taps it down. Gavalanche looking for it, but Jackson the Boss had it read like a book. He's going to try to drag it coast to coast, and it's just off frame. Zippy able to get that one up and around Neoblastz. Gav out towards Dolfino, but Nehtaro jumps in the lane, and it's another steal for a goal. Tempest up 2-0.
Eggplants is kind of looking like Tempest was looking last game. They're not playing as aggressive as they were, and it seems as if are they going into like a prevent defense? It seems like they just aren't as aggressive, and they're trying to just control the net, and not, instead of scoring, they're trying to just stop Tempest from scoring, and that's kind of the worst strategy to have in Rocket League in terms of trying to win a game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the goals that Eggplants had scored, I mean, it was a point that we were harping on for a little bit, was the fact that Tempest just kind of kept giving Eggplants goals. They've stopped doing that, and Eggplants have stopped scoring. So the tightening up of things for Tempest has paid dividends here as they've got a commanding 3-0 lead. There is no shots on goal for Eggplants B. They have been blanked here through 2/3 of this game 5.
Tempest is playing like a team that could potentially pull off something that I believe at the beginning of this series was impossible because they were so evenly matched. But Tempest right now is showing a lot of separation, is playing way more aggressive, and they're playing really great as a team. So they're playing like a team that could potentially pull off a reverse sweep, which would be crazy to cast my very first night cast. So
I just absolutely get in here and have the bingo card filled up on the first night, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we have Jackson the ball. Oh, almost put up another
no. Oh man, not the own goal. That one is this is an Uffaroni if I've ever seen one, right off of General Zippy's hood back of the net. That's kind of the way that this game has gone, and if I'm Eggplants, I mean, getting shut out on the scoreboard here, maybe already kind of thinking forward to game number 6. Like, just, they've still got 2 games in the bag. Like, this is an okay one for the Eggplants to lose, right? There's no real skin off their back. But now the worry is Tempests have got literally a storm whipped up behind them. They have got all the momentum. They've held you almost shotless. That was the first shot from Dolfino just about 5 seconds ago. Another attempt here will be pushed away by Gavalanche to keep it still at 4-0, but Tempests have stormed back into this series, to make the same pun twice. Just it has been it almost looks like a different team here from what we saw in the first 3 games of the series. B. This is the first not one goal game.
As they put up another goal, not even a different team. This is just a completely different series. Eggplant isn't playing like they were playing at the very beginning of the series. And to think that the team that we saw in game 1, game 2, game 3 would give up 5 goals is amazing, Hud.
Yeah, and the team that that pretty much handed 3 goals over the course of 2 games to the opponents, playing nigh impeccably on the defensive end. I mean, they generated 12 shots to only 2 for the Eggplants. Tempests outshooting them by a margin of +10 is definitely, that is a way to win a game. That is a way, the low shooting percentage is all right if you shoot a ton and you score a few. Like if you shoot if you shoot 12 times and you score on 5 of them, like that's fine, because just that volume is good enough to get you through. But the question for me is it sustainable? Can Tempest continue this momentum into game number 6, or maybe we'll see Eggplants come out and change something up? What do you think it needs to be for Eggplants to maybe turn this around in 6?
Just don't panic. Remember how you played at the beginning of this series and get back to it. I think these last 2 games, being up 3-0, that puts you, some coaches say that's kind of the worst spot to be in, because you automatically feel like you already have the series in the bag. And I think we got a little bit of that out of Eggplants. They thought they already had the series in the bag and they let their guard down a little bit. So just get back to how you were playing in game 1, game 2, and game 3. And let's see how game 6 goes.
This is the opportunity now for the Tempests, really, to because if they can win this one and make it so that way we're going all the way to 7, although we might be getting a sub for Eggplants. I see Swax has joined, but looks like we will stay with the 6 on the field, the same 6 we saw last game. It has been if a Tempest can take this one, the nightmare is realized for the Eggplants, right? Like the impossibility of a reverse sweep is all of a sudden very, very real if Tempest can take this game 6, and that makes game 7 pretty much anybody's. Like, it's just wide open, as team bumps there from Eggplants maybe keep a goal from going in. And I totally agree with you, but that's what they need. A big bump from Gavalanche across the goal mouth will open up just the sliver of daylight for Dolfino to punch one home. Eggplants, after getting rocked in game 5, they are alive once again. And now maybe we'll have it in 6.
That was the aggression that we really haven't seen either team play with. I don't remember seeing too many bumps when it pertains to the goalie for either team, even though Eggplant is doing a great job of putting Tempest in corners like this. So you would think they would do more bumping, but Gavalanche said, I don't care about a bump, I care about a shot opportunity, and he just cashed that in from a beautiful pass by General Zippy. Good shot. And Eggplant goes up 2-0, and just all of a sudden the momentum just doesn't even matter. It's almost like it isn't real.
Definitely a big swing here for Eggplants. I mean, the moment to moment is so big, and Eggplants just kept their heads screwed on straight, because it would have been so easy to get a little panicky, to get a little scared after getting absolutely blown out. But instead, they come right out. First minute of the game, drop 2. Now they've got a lead to build off of and a little bit of wiggle room to work with as Gav throws one long. Jackson the Boss is going to reach up to make the save. Gav follows up his own shot all across the middle for Dolfino. Shot's not there. Back out to General Zippy. High 50 to the sideboards. Gavalanche will throw one towards the far left side. Nobody could get the touch. That is a big one to leave out for Tempests. And now it will be Eggplants once again starting to mount their offensive push. They will fend off a couple of shots here from Tempest in the meantime. Jackson the Boss turning it right back towards the orange zone. Gavalanche with the save. Jackson again throws one towards Nehtaro, but won't connect in the long clearance for Eggplant. They'll get right back on the front foot. And it's only been one shot now for Tempest. They put 12 on last game. They've only registered one here in game number 6. What have you seen as the change right now for Tempest? Be it just, again, the switch is flipped. Now it's back to off.
It's not so much of a change as now Eggplant is taking advantage once again of putting Tempest in these corners, because they're putting them in the corner and they're staying there what it seems like a good 15-20 seconds of gameplay, and I still think they're going to take a control of the ball right there. Yeah, so they're still on the play, and it's so much just maybe they just increased the pressure again. I think they just started applying more aggression again.
Gotta find some way to ratchet this back up, and time is ticking away. Not an infinite amount of time to work with here, and no more games in the bag for Tempest. They've got to find a way to score 2, get this one tied back up. Eggplants are going to continue to try to extend this lead. General Zippy throws one into the corner. It's Gavalanche next to it. General Zippy is going to steal that corner boost. It's a big resource grab. But Jackson the Boss had plenty to get a clear out. Gav just enough to push that one wide. This one dangerous, but General Zippy with a great stop. Delfino now continues it downfield, a whiff off the backboard for Jackson the Boss, and it's another punish for Eggplants. 3-0 for the Garden now. Here in game 6, they could be putting it away.
They could be putting it away. Maybe the Eggplants were playing possum. Maybe they just wanted to make this series a little bit interesting. They know how much the sponsorship money is important to us. Maybe they just want to extend the series. I have no idea, but they're coming out and they're playing like a great game. And now they're playing the same way that Tempest was playing the last game. Now they're putting up a lot of shots, putting up a lot of goals. So this is insane to see how the momentum is just swinging back and forth, and it really doesn't have a rhyme or reason like what's happening right now. It's just first it was very close games, and then we have a 5-0 game. Like, where did that come from? So we're seeing a lot of interesting developments in this game.
I definitely think the game that the Tempest... Oh, it's a good try from Gav trying to go backside there. I think the games that the Tempest won were as a result of them really just kind of like it was almost regression to the mean for the Eggplants, right? Like just kind of trying to get things back to a level footing for Tempest, and they found a couple ways to win. The games that the Eggplants have won have been almost exclusively them capitalizing on really bad mistakes from the Tempest. Really tough rotations, right, really big whiffs, and yeah, almost a big one there. That has been the difference to me, and something that you were speaking to the entire time, B. But finally, Netaro's going to get one in here. It's a big bump from the lead blocker, I believe, Jackson the Boss, running interference in the net, and the teamwork on the side there just gets General Zippy off his line. 37 seconds left. It's a long way to go, but it's definitely doable, B.
It's a very interesting 37 seconds because a lot of randomness has been happening in this game. So I would not be surprised if we see Tempest score 2 goals in the last 33 seconds. And they're starting off right by putting Eggplant in a corner, but they back themselves out of it and they take control of it. And now they have Tempest in the corner, and Jackson the Boss clears it out. General Zippy has it, and Neoblastz takes control of it. We are down to our last 13 seconds.
Almost the dagger, but it's pretty good to bleed the clock away. 10 seconds, 5 seconds now, and it's not enough time to score 2. It's going to be in 6. The Eggplants, your master champions for RSC Season 18. They hold off the fervent push for the reverse sweep and walk away your champions. Congratulations to the Eggplants, and wow, from a series that looked like it might have been over in 4 games and 4 tightly contested, but pretty not surprising that Eggplants won games. Super happy that we got to 6 out of that.
Yeah, that was a really great series with a lot of swings and momentum. It was like we got a lot of series in one. We got a very defensive series to start this off with the very first 3 games. Even though Eggplant won those games, they were all close. To what the very first 2 went to overtime. Did the third one go to overtime?
Yeah, I think games 1, 2, and no, the third one ended at 3. The game-winning goal was scored in 3 seconds. It was a 1-0 game.
So still close.
Yeah, it's very close.
Still close. And then we saw Tempest just completely just reverse everything. Just win a close game.
All of their goals in that one game.
Yeah, and then go and then win 5-0 on game 5. So, but then we see Eggplants end it and just cap off a beautiful season, beautiful season. Who was your MVP for that one?
I think Gad's got to be the MVP
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Eggplants. I think played the most solid all around, all the way through all 6 games, and got the MVP there in the final one. Definitely was a team effort. I mean, it's so hard to kind of pick them out, but this one's really easy because Gav's right there with the MVP thing already over his head. So it's just a super easy pick there, and played fantastically through all 6 games. So I think an easy one for the pick here for the Master Finals. But man, what a great slate. I'm happy we got both series on stream tonight, because there was a brief moment where we were thinking maybe we would have to reschedule the Master one, but everything worked out the way it was supposed to, and we got ourselves 2 new champions, one in Premier and one in Master. It is Eggplants in Master, and it was Crooked Capos in Premier in 6. Actually, that was in 5 in Premier. 4-1 for the Crooked Capos and 4-2 for the Eggplants. Here are 2 new champions. We have got 4 more championship matches to be played, 2 more match nights to be streamed to wrap up our RSC Season 18. Let me pull things up real fast. I'm going to get my stream schedule. Maybe I can find it quickly. I won't be able to. I believe next one, maybe Taz, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, should be Elite and Prospect, I think. Maybe. I have to pull my Google Sheet back up. Oh man. This is my least favorite part of all of this, is trying to keep track of what these teams are doing, because I can barely keep track of myself. So keeping track of other people is next to impossible. Let's see. Going to RSC League Info, and then I'm going to the. I just want to go to the team standings, and then I'll be able to tell you exactly what we've got coming up here. It's not like I could have prepared to do this beforehand or anything like that. Just been ready. Instead, I will just sit here and babble on and on. Our next match is 11-13, which would be Monday next week. That will be Challenger Finals, and the other one will be Elite Finals. So Challenger Finals are already set. It'll be the number 2 Toucans from Solar facing off the number 1 Penne Patrol from Lunar and Challenger. And then for Elite, we don't know our champion or our championship contenders yet. Pixel Picassos and Cyclones 1 and 2 seed. That's the semifinal on the Solar side. And then it's Azatoth and Gelato, the semifinal on the Lunar side for Elite. Those are our 2 finals matchups coming your way on Monday next week. And then we'll have our last one on Wednesday before we wrap up the season for RSC. We're in the home stretch here. And B, you got to jump on the mic for the first time ever and get to cast 2 series. And I tell you what, you knocked it out of the park.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. One more time for our champions who won tonight, Crooked Capos and Eggplants. One more round of applause for them. And give it up for all the people that watched us on stream. Thank you guys for watching us.
Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to Taz in the back for doing all the hard work, getting all the production going. And we will get out of here. I will shut my mouth, let everybody go to bed. We'll see you guys next Monday, same time, same place, to wrap up this RSC Season 18. We'll catch you.